This is the Barbecue Central Show Archives. The Barbecue Central Show airs live each Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and is brought to you by the Barbecue Guru, makers of automatic temperature control devices, and a host of other products that make your barbecue and grilling life easier. Visit them online at thebbqguru.com or call them 800-288-GURU. And by Big Papa Smokers, creators of fabulous rubs, online retailer of grills, accessories, apparel, and creators of their own barbecue contests. Visit them online at bigpapasmokers.com. And by Butcher Barbecue, creators of injections and rubs, sweeping the nation, doing well in competitions and in the backyard. You can visit them at butcherbbq.com. And by Stephen DeFranco Jewelers, official jeweler of the Barbecue Central Show. Call 440-943-2700 and use key term Barbecue Brother when you talk to Steve, or visit them online at StephenDeFranco.com. And by Green Mountain Grills, one of the best pellet grills you can get on the market today, varying sizes, not only for your capacity of cooking, but for your budget as well. Visit greenmountaingrills.com for more information. And by El Diablo Mustard. Looking for a little bit of heat and flavor in regular old yellow mustard? El Diablo has you covered. 6 different flavors to choose from currently, and you can find them at eldiablomustard.com. And by cookinpellets.com. Have a pellet-driven cooker? Why not try out some of the best pellets on the market and will not void any of your warranties, by the way? Cookinpellets.com is the website. And by Cook Shack, a premier manufacturer of electric and pellet-driven cookers, giving barbecue classes located in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Always running some kind of a special deal. Check them out at cookshack.com.
Hi, this is Bobby Rempe from Cleveland, Ohio, and you're listening to Barbecue Central.
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. Oh, yeah. It is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling, broadcasting live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio. It is the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evening. Should you see fit to join in on the show tonight, more than happy to have you. It's a phone call, 216-220-0966. You can also email the show if you would care to, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening on the show tonight. Coming up in about 13 minutes from now, he was a guest a couple weeks ago, and you will find him on the show for the very first interview segment. Steve Ray from Owl's Nest Barbecue. Kind of becoming our own embedded reporter in the world of competition barbecue. Steve took his chance and hand at the Smokin' Up the Saddle Club, a SBBQA event, Kansas City Barbecue Society, that was this past weekend, the 14th and the 15th, in Chatsworth, Georgia. So we'll talk to Steve about his finish. Of course, there was a number of top teams in there to include True Bud, Iowa Smoky D's, Warren County Pork Choppers, Checkered Pig, just to name a few. So certainly a plethora of high-quality competition teams. And, of course, as Dave Bosk is pointing out, we need to give fellow Centralites that cannot be here, since they are in Vegas winning third in the WFC or the World Food Championships, none other but the Elser brothers. That's right, Sweet Smoke Q. Congratulations to them, absolutely, hopefully. In a week's time, we might be able to have the brothers Elsers on the show to recap World Food Championships, and very excited at their success that has been going on over the course of the last number of days, really. I mean, it's not like a one day and boom, you're in. A lot of different levels to get through. Of course, nobody knows that better than Dave Bosca from Butcher Barbecue, having done it himself there 2 years ago, I believe. So, again, congratulations to Sweet Smoke Q, and you can find out more about them at sweetsmokeq.com. So, anyway, that is our first segment, potentially second segment guest, Steve Ray, coming up at 9:14. Then we'll move on to the second hour, guy we haven't had on the show in some time, just through scheduling and, getting into some other things. But a guy love to talk food in general with, a guy that has a number of Emmy Awards to his credit, a number of cookbooks published to his credit, TV shows, you name it, he has done it. And I consider him a friend and proud to always have him on the show to talk food stuff. Sam, the cooking guy, will be joining us 10:14, 10:35. And I believe tonight, we're in it, right? I mean, if you didn't know, we are a week and loose change away from one of the biggest eating holidays that befalls the great nation of America. That being Thanksgiving. That'll be a week from this coming Thursday. So we'll talk to Sam. Maybe not necessarily. I mean, we'll talk to him about turkey. Got to have all the guests on. Everybody that's a guest on the show this week is going to be talking turkey in some form or fashion, whether they know it or not. Because we want to get the ideas and the tips and the tricks, whatever we can do to kind of ease the inevitable stress that builds up on you during that day, perhaps days even leading up to it. Maybe you've bought a frozen turkey that you didn't allot enough time to thaw. Maybe you were going to try it one way and you freaked out, and now you're going to try it a different way, but you don't have all the necessary accoutrements. I mean, who knows what happens when stress enters the situation, how people handle stress. Are you reacting under pressure? Are you caving under pressure? Like the Browns did this past week against the Texans. Bastards. I don't want to diverge too far into a sports thing here, but let me point out one thing. All of last week, if we were removed a week ago, the Cleveland Browns were sitting atop the AFC North. First time since 1994 at 6-3. The horrifically mediocre Texans come in. Houston Texans. The Cleveland Browns crap the proverbial bed in every form and fashion that you can do it on any team, special, offense, or defense, lose by a convincing margin, and go from first to last, just like that. Get that freak stuff out of here. Cleveland riding the highs and lows in the sports world, of course. Again, first place for a week, last place in just a week's time. I mean, it's just that easy in the National Football League. Anyway, so we want to know how you react under pressure. Maybe for the folks that are in the chat room tonight, ways you like to prepare turkey, or perhaps a certain method that you're going to be using in almost a week's time for what Meat had talked about last week as a truly unique and American holiday. One that I said and that I have maintained over the years has been able to find its way clear of any of the overwhelming commercialization that you see a number of holidays fallen victim to as years have passed. Certainly no bigger victim than the commercialization, dare I say, bastardization of Christmas, which now encroaches on Thanksgiving. So I think it is important, and maybe it got lost a little bit in translation when Meathead was on last week, that you have to be able to delineate between the two holidays. Thanksgiving is its own holiday. Christmas is its own holiday. And you can't allow Christmas to work into the Thanksgiving. I mean, once you've made that personal delineation within yourself, all right, I'm done with Thanksgiving, and now I'm going to go do Black Friday shopping on Thursday at 8 o'clock in the evening. You've cut out of Thanksgiving at that point. You've you've made the transition. So, until you've made the transition, though, it's Thanksgiving. It's one that isn't overhyped, one that you're not seeing butterball turkeys on sale for the upcoming Thanksgiving, or buy your friends these table trinkets and so forth. You don't really see too much on the home shopping networks or anything like that. I mean, you just know it. You know it's coming. You know you're going to have a good time. You know you're going to be around, hopefully, people that you like, and you're going to be eating and drinking and wishing perhaps a day later that you didn't do it that much. But hell, while you're doing it, it's fun and fantastic. And I think, again, in my estimation, one of the all-time best holidays when you look at it from what it is and how people treat it, and again, how it has not become a victim of so much commercialization as so many other American holidays have. While you're watching the show here right now, do me the solid, as I ask you each and every week, send out some type of a social media post. Do the blind email. Go to your email engine and do blind carbon copy all. Copy yourself, live copy yourself, blind carbon copy everybody in the contact list. Say, hey, I'm listening or watching the Barbecue Central show. Here's a link, the audio link, thebbqcentralshow.com. Here's the video link, outdoorcookingchannel.com, which has been the syndication partner for the video syndication partner for the show for any number of years now. And then, of course, if they are high tech and have the IP television stuff, you can send them to Roku, for instance. Go to the App Store, find the Outdoor Cooking Channel app in the Roku App Store, download it, and then you're off and ready to go. The first option is the live stream option. Second option is me, La Barbecue Central Show, and all my video archives there since we started it with Kevin and the folks over there at Outdoor Cooking Channel, plus all the other shows that he has right up there. So you can also subscribe to this show audibly for archives on the iTunes. You can get the video replays on the Barbecue Central YouTube page right down here. And on my website, of course, Outdoor Cooking Channel, as I just mentioned. So there's never any reason that you should ever miss anything on this show. If everybody converges one day on a, did you hear this, did you hear that? The answer should always be yes, because there's never a way that you've, unless I haven't done a show that week, there's never any reason that you should miss what's happened on the show. Plain and simple. Let me tell you what else is plain and simple and awesome. Dave Bosca and the gang over at Butcher Barbecue. That's right. Here we go, gang. Holiday season coming up. Time for gifts. Time for treats. Time, potentially, because it's early in this week, to get some injections to add some flavor to your tired and sad-ass turkey that you're going to be serving in just over a week's time. How about some Butcher Barbecue? First of all, butcherbbq.com. Turkey time for Bird Booster. That's right, Dave. Absolutely. Again, the website, butcherbbq.com. We all know Butcher's known for the injections. I mean, we talk about the pork, the beef, the prime injection. Tonight we are talking Bird Booster. Last time I checked, turkey is a bird, a poultry type. Get it. Get it done. Get it on. Got no choice but to get it on with Butcher Barbecue and the Bird Booster products. Check them out. You want to add some flavor to that turkey, not necessarily just doing the rub thing, which also I highly recommend depending on what form you're doing it in. But get the injection regardless. You can do it in the oven, you do it on the grill, on the smoker, what have you. That injection gets all the way down. You always talk about, well, flavor on the top, but nothing towards the bone. Forget about it. You're talking nonsense now, because you do have products available from Butcher Barbecue right now that will help you get the flavor that you want all the way down. Even if you're cooking a 758-pound bird, make sure you buy enough and you have a big enough syringe or injector needle to get down there, but you can cram all that flavor right down into that bird, and you're going to be reaping the rewards of moisture retention to the tune of 7% more than you would if you're doing it brining. And as Dave has mentioned on this show, as well as a host of others, brining changes the feel of the meat. Not injecting. You're still going to have that mouth feel, the bite down, the texture. Not going to have that, sogginess. It's the best way I can describe it when we talk about brining. Plus, you're going to keep more of the juice in when you're doing the injecting. So here's what you need to do. You go over to butcherbbq.com. That's butcherbbq.com and order up all you can. $200 or more, get your free shipping. and your friends and neighbors will be thanking you for a succulent turkey meal coming up in just over a week. ButcherBBQ.com. That's ButcherBBQ.com. We are back with Steve Ray right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your phone number, your email address. Should you see fit to join in the fray tonight, talking a lot of turkey, talking a lot of competition stuff, talking Sam, the cooking guy stuff in the second hour. But first, guest tonight, a host of his own radio show locally in Tennessee, Ottawa, Tennessee. Is it Ottawa? We'll ask him here in a second. I think it's Ottawa. And a competition barbecue cook pitmaster, Owl's Nest Barbecue, took place and tried his hand at the Chatsworth, Georgia Smoking Up the Saddle Club barbecue competition. And he was on the show a couple weeks ago. Figured we'd welcome him back and talk a little shop with a friend of the show, Steve Ray, joining me. Steve, how are you, bud?
Hey, Greg. How you doing?
Doing absolutely fabulous. So here's what I was thinking. Like, this son of a bitch comes on my show a couple weeks ago. In the backyard, fire brewing, real-life fire. I'm like, what is this cat going to pull? Is he going to risk, life and limb and go outside and build another fire? But you've done something even better tonight. You got, the Yule log going on in the background.
It is great. It's 25 degrees here in Chattanooga. It's, when it gets down to 50, we start to turn the thermostats up to 80 degrees and bundle up down here. So it's just crazy cold for this time of year.
Yeah, certainly mid-November is, every once in a while you get it. I think we're probably getting that once in a while right now. This is usually February weather. And here in Cleveland, we're probably in the single digits at this point, just ambient temperature. And it should be right around zero or just a tick below zero as we move into the overnight. So a little chillier than normal that we would like to see here given the time frame. But, what are you going to do about it? This is what you get. And if you don't like it, move to Arizona or move to San Diego like my second hour guest lives in. And then, you can complain about how much you miss the snow and cold weather when you get out there, right?
That's right. Down here we say you got to dance with what brung you.
That's right. Steve, let me ask you something. Last time you were on, you gave us your take on gas, and I was marveling at that. I think I'd filled up earlier that day for $2.85 or $2.90 a gallon, and I was like, wow, what a deal. And then the other half of me was going, you're still getting ripped off. And we talked about the fuel since you're an owner of a private service station. You have a show on Saturdays on the local ESPN affiliate, and you have some barbecue and some grilling talk, but mostly geared towards car stuff. You have another guy, a co-host named Steve, on there, and you guys are both car guys. And you talk about tires. It was the not this past Saturday, I think, but the Saturday you were talking about tires. Mm-hmm. It's for the people that live in the muck and the mire that we're about to go through for the next 6 months. How important is it to, A, go somewhere and get, tires checked out? Can you go somewhere and get tires checked out? And how much of a benefit are you getting with new tires versus perhaps, what's on your car that you've run for a year or so?
Well, Greg, where we live and where you live are two different types of driving utilities. I would imagine in Cleveland, Ohio, in that area, you're going to get a lot of slush. You're going to get a lot of mud.
Yep.
And what I would make sure that you don't have anything less than a tire with half tread life on it. Down here, we can get away with 2/30 seconds. And that's the old, the Lincoln, the penny in the tread, where you can see Lincoln's head. If Lincoln's head's sticking out of the tread, it's time to get tires. But where you come from, make sure that you got at least 50% tread on your tire. And I would imagine in Cleveland, you guys probably run snow tires and studs. Am I right?
Well, so that's the thing that I wanted to talk about. I remember when I was growing up as a Ute in the upstate New York area, Saratoga Springs to be exact, my mom had this like Datsun B210, if you can believe. You remember Datsun B210?
Absolutely,
and,
great car.
So she would, knock off the tires and put the snow tires on, and you could. The snow tires sound like no other tire when running down the road. You can hear them, coming from a mile away because they do have the studs in them. But those seem to almost fall out of favor to a certain degree to the all-terrain tires or the all-weather tires. However, I have seen maybe an uptick in people either looking for them and hearing them now more and more on the road. And that was the next question. So if you live somewhere where I live, how cost efficient or effective is buying a snow tire, and can you wear them out, like if you're just driving on regular road pavement in the winter?
Yes, you can wear them out, Greg. Most cars now are front wheel drive, and if you have a front wheel drive car, you'll want to put your snow tires in the front because that's where the car is doing the pulling. I imagine you can get studded tires. Even if you have a situation where you have to chain your tires, and I know y'all have that up in Cleveland and up in the north, put those on the front. Your backs are just going to track and give you a little braking power. So keep all your snow apparatus up in the front, and your snow tires will wear really, really fast because it's a deep tread, but it's not a tread that's made for everyday driving. So I would recommend put your snow tires on the front. If your chain's if you're gonna have to chain it, you've got front wheel drive. Put the chains up front, and of course slow down, and you should be okay in your area of the country. Is
there like a certain time that you put them on and you just run them, and then you put them on in January and you take them off by March? I mean, it's people don't. I would imagine it's a little inconvenient to say, oh well, it's not going to snow today, or there's no projected snow today. I'll back off the tires and throw the regular ones on, or do people do it like that?
Yeah, what a lot of people do, they'll have a set of tires already mounted on an extra set of wheels, and you'll go to the garage, and it only takes 5 minutes to take front tires off and put another set of front tires on. It's like a NASCAR pit stop. And if I lived in your area, doing what I have to do for a living, I would keep a set of snow tires mounted on a separate set of wheels, and I would keep them in the back of my truck. And if some inclement weather came on, I would just switch them right there, put the good ones in the back of the truck, put the snow tires on. And I'll bet a lot of people in your area do that.
Steve Ray is my guest, and it's Midnight Oil. That's the name of the store, right?
Yeah, it's Midnight Oil. We're a small mom and pop operation, Greg. We've been there 31 years on I-75, exit number 11, right off the interstate. All the barbecue guys go by me all the time.
All right, so let me ask you as we nicely segue into barbecue. Appreciate that. And I apologize for just asking you stuff that I didn't tell you I was going to ask you about. But, I mean, I know nothing about cars other than the fact that I know I don't know anything, and I'm never going to attempt to try something because I'm just as dangerous enough to screw up something 10 times worse than taking to somebody that knows what they're doing.
Greg, just real quick, we've been doing this on the radio for 18 years now. It's on ES. If you want to listen online, anybody out there can listen. ESPN. Chattanooga.com, and we love to have you listen. It's a really fun show. It's on Saturday mornings, 9 to 10 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, great show, and great personalities on that show, by the way. And I'm not just kissing your ass. Well, maybe a little bit. So you were at the Smoking Up the Saddle barbecue competition in Chatsworth, Georgia, and from all accounts, as I was seeing it flash across social media, wow, little cold out there in Chatsworth, Georgia.
Ooh, 20 degrees on over Friday night, Saturday morning.
Wow,
it was crazy cold. This time of year down here, we're in the high 50s, low 60s consistently, and night times 45, 40 degrees. And I mean, man, it was cold. I mean, cold. We had never cooked. Our team, Owl's Nest Barbecue, we've never cooked in the cold weather before, and so I was really concerned, how is it going to affect our smoker? What about our fuel consumption? And I was on our Superior Smokers Facebook page asking all my friends who have Superiors, what can I expect, what to do, a lot of help there. But we muddled through it. Weren't very successful, but man, all the teams were freezing. Not a whole lot of socializing going on other than the Cooks meeting and an early Friday. But it was a good time. And Greg, this place it was huge. I guess they have horse shows there. And Mitchell Bidwell and his crew did a fantastic job of setting everything up. This was the first one, and the brand new, and had 34 teams. And just you want to know, you want to know who's there. Well, Checkered Pig, Under the Radar, Warren County, Moyers, Rootin' Tooters, Iowa Smoky D's, Georgia Boys, Jack's Old South, Rolling Smoke, Diggin' Q, Hogs Gone Wild. It was a who's who of the KCBS points leaders. It really was.
So, talking about the cold weather, that's really a topic that hasn't come up in a lot of conversations that I've had with pitmasters over the year. A little bit here and there, as we talk about how it dips into the 40s or the mid 40s that you had mentioned that you're used to right now. But getting into the 20s or maybe into the high teens, are you cooking out of a rig like some of these guys, or you just like pop up tent Jones, or what's your situation?
No, we have a 5x10 foot single axle trailer that we cook out. We put the ramp door down, push the smoker out on the ramp door, so it is open. But we had a 2-burner heater, a propane heater inside the trailer, and my partner Dan Grease has 40-foot motor coach that we brought, so we were warm. And we just had to prep our meat inside the trailer, and that was a little cold, but we cranked up the heat, so we were very, very comfortable. But there were a couple teams there that were still intense, and I really felt for them, because there is absolutely no way with the wind blowing like it was that you were going to be able to get comfortable Friday night. It was if you didn't have some sort of protection on you'd froze to death out there.
What kind of a cooker are you running again, Steve, just to refresh everybody's memory?
We have a Superior smoker, gravity feed smoker. Does a great job. We're super happy with it.
When you see temperatures, or as you're cooking through this weekend at temperatures that are well below what you're used to, are you seeing any type of extra fuel consumption, or did you pack a bunch of extra fuel just in case? Certainly Superior along those same lineages as a Stump or a Southern Breeder, ones that are traditionally known to be heavily insulated, that say, well, it's weather doesn't really affect them. But, I mean, this is some serious cold that we're talking about. So did you notice that it was running through the fuel a little bit more?
It did affect it. Matter of fact, normally we start our smoker about 9:30 or 10 o'clock, put our meats on at midnight, and we can go all the way through the competition on one chimney load of charcoal. We had to add. We totally ran out, Greg, right about probably 7:30, 8:30 in the morning. We ran out, and we had to refill the chimney on the Superior. Now, we didn't use a full another chimney. We used about another half, but it did take the charcoal about 50% more to run in the same amount of time in the 20 to 25 degree weather. It sure did.
Did you notice any issues getting the meat prepped, or feeling like maybe the cook wasn't going to get accomplished in the same amount of time that you would normally allot, or perhaps did you allot for more time to get those meats done this time around?
No, the chicken was a whole lot easier to prep because it didn't get warm at all, and that's always nice. But no, once we got the meat on the smoker, it was our times were just right on. And our chicken took a little bit longer to cook, but I think that was because we had a little problem placing it in the smoker with the ribs. But no, the Superior did a great job. The cold weather really didn't affect the cook time on it. Just the consumption of fuel. That's all.
All right. So as we look at the overall scoring, obviously Checkered Pig wins with almost damn near 706 points. So they put together a huge effort to get over 700. Yeah. Well, over 700, but 705 points. Certainly amazing. Owl's Nest Barbecue, 31st overall. What do you think were some of the Achilles heels? I mean, certainly 3 finished behind you, so we're not DAL there, but nevertheless, certainly normally, I guess you could say I'm talking to guys that are, a little bit farther up on the list on the show, but I think it's a good idea to make sure that for the guys that aren't out there running, 35, 40 contests a year to see, what your own feedback and your own critique of a competition is, finishing 31st out of 34 teams.
Greg, we talked to the three guys that were around us. They were all just like us. This was our fourth KCBS event of the year and our seventh overall barbecue event of the year. The guys next to us, this was their fifth one, and the other fellow next to me, that was his eighth one of the year. So we're all kind of I guess they put all the newbies together, and that's great because we kind of got together, traded ideas, and got to know them. But it's a lot of fun, and I'm still a little starry-eyed when I go to these things because I got to talk to Darren, and I'm not real good friends with Donnie yet, but we are an acquaintance, and you kind of you talk to him, and it's kind of neat to know that you're not only a fan of these guys like David Bosco, one of my favorites, but you can compete against them. That was what is so unique about the barbecue sport. You can be a fan of all the participants, yet you can go to these competitions, and I mean anybody can go, and you can compete head-to-head with Donnie Bray, with Tommy Houston, Darren, Smokey D's, True Buds, and to me, it makes for a fascinating weekend.
Yeah,
it really does.
I think that's certainly something that's unique to the competition barbecue. As you said, or you can be a fan of somebody, and then in the same instance, you could be cooking against them in the same weekend, and trying to put your best up against their best. And to be fair, Jack's Old South only finishes one notch above you.
Yeah, I saw that. I
surprising to you?
I was shocked. I didn't get a chance to talk to Michael. I didn't see his dad there, but I saw Michael and my friend TJ Wehunt that cooks with Jack's Old South. He's actually from Chattanooga. I saw him getting the overall ranking sheets, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But I was surprised. I was surprised. But it just goes to show you how good the competition, and that's what makes our team want to keep going back, Greg. Because on any given Saturday, we could beat Iowa Smokey D's, we could beat Donnie Bray, and all we got to do is get a few things here and there. And, we could be walking up there, and that's really, our goal this year was to really cook and learn, and we learned a whole lot. I was really glad that it was cold this cook because that gave us some experience cooking in cold weather and, keeping to our schedules. And I'm looking more forward. We're going to try to do 8 KCBS events next year, and I'm really confident that we can get, a top 10 call next year. I'm really confident we can do that.
Do you have any plans to do any type of cooking contests or not cooking contests, but cooking classes or anything like that previous to next year starting?
Yeah, we're going up to Bowling Green on January the 30th to Warren County Pork Choppers School, and we've already got our reservations and we've already sent the check. We're going to go to that, and in March they're having I don't know what it's called. You'll probably know. It's the National Barbecue Association. A convention, I guess, is going to be in Nashville this year, and that's going to be, I think, March the 7th. And they're having a steak cook-off at that event, and I think we're gonna try our hand at that, just to, kind of to say we did it, and we're looking forward to that.
You cook a good steak, Steve?
Yeah, it's okay. I'm not a real. I tell you, Greg, before I got interested in barbecue, I wasn't a real king of the grill kind of guy. If Barbara said, you want to cook the steak, I go, yeah, or you can cook it. It makes no difference to me. But I've really gotten into steak, and I've followed Michael McDermott, and I think we talked about it last time, like you. I'm in the 380 to 400 degree range now, and I think it makes a whole lot better steak. And, it's something that all your friends in the neighborhood, not all the friends in the neighborhood cook barbecue, but by golly, everybody cooks a steak and a hamburger. And they always like to talk about it and trade ideas. Yeah,
Steve Ray joining us here on the show. Steve, does Midnight Oil have a website, by the way?
No, it's just our Facebook page, Midnight Oil Steve Ray.
All right,
we put all of our stuff going out there.
Got it. Midnight Oil Steve Ray on Facebook if you want to check him out. Steve, could I hold you over for one more segment? We can talk a little turkey coming up.
Absolutely. I'd love to, Greg.
Steve will hang out here just for 1 second, and I will tell you quickly about the longest-running sponsor of the show, the Barbecue Guru. That's right, makers of automatic pit temperature control technology. If you've been thinking about automatic pit temperature control devices for your cooker, stop here. This is the company that started it all. They are the creators of this technology. Why would you buy from any other company? I don't know. Not familiar with how these little beauties work? I'm not going to get into the minute detail, but imagine a product that allows you to set your pit temperature in one set, keeps it running at that set temperature all the way through the cook. Sound too good to be true? It's not. It's real-life technology. You can take advantage of it today. Great gift idea, by the way, as the holidays are rapidly approaching. Now, maybe you're a busy working professional like me, or perhaps you are constantly on the run with kids, doing errands. Quite frankly, you just don't have the time to set around and tend pit temperatures. I get it. The Guru allows you to throw on a pork butt or a brisket or a couple slabs of ribs, and then you're off to do whatever it is you need to get done, and the Guru maintains that pit temperature you set it at. There's about 4 different models to choose from right now, 2 of the most popular ones. If you have Wi-Fi connections of any degree, if you have smart devices of any form or fashion, you might want to consider the CyberQ Wi-Fi taking over not only backyards, but competition circles across the nation, dare I say the world. If you have a hotspot, you get on it. You can open up your phone on the app and see right there on your phone or your netbook or your laptop computer or your tablet what your cooker temperature is at, and you can also check up to 3 different internal temperatures of your meat. So maybe you're cooking a little fast overnight. You can dial back that temperature of the pit and slow the cooking process down, or perhaps the reverse. You're cooking too slow. You can ramp up that pit temperature right there from the comfort of your own bed and kick up the cooking time a little bit. If you're in the market for a cooker, check out the Onyx Oven. The Onyx Oven is a winning competition cooker out there, both in backyards and across the country on the competition scene. Fully insulated, holds a lot of meat, accommodates half and full pans for food service, working seamlessly with any of the Barbecue Guru pit temperature control devices, of course. Do yourself a favor. Head on over to thebbqguru.com and check out all their products. If you have any questions about what to order, call them directly, 800-288-GURU, and they'll make sure you're outfitted with exactly what you need to get you up and running right out of the box. Again, it's 800-288-GURU, or visit the website, thebbqguru.com. Back more with Steve Ray talking about Thanksgiving right after this. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Get in the smoke. Call 877-448-0433 to get on the air. Now, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your email address. Joining me is Steve Ray from Midnight Oil and the pitmaster of Owl Nest Barbecue. We just got done recapping the Chatsworth, Georgia, the Smoking Up the Saddle barbecue event that took place this past weekend. Steve, obviously just a shade over a week's worth of time finds Thanksgiving going to be upon us. Obviously, I had a big show with Meathead on that last weekend talking about...
Great show, too, Greg. He's wonderful, isn't he? He's wonderful.
A wealth of information and living the dream. I don't know if you saw the article that was written on him recently about, like, Chicago small business or something like that, but, you know, did a nice expose on Meathead and what he's started from and where he's grown to now with over $500,000 in ad revenue on that website. I mean... I think we'd all like to be making, $500,000 in revenues.
Well, you're kidding. He is, and he's so helpful on his website. I don't know if you saw the Tuffy Stone little seminar he did with Tuffy on his website. If I'm one of those premium members on his website,
Pitmaster.
And it's fantastic. I mean, Tuffy was just very forthcoming, and what an interesting guy. And of course, Greg just. Or Craig, he can stay right with him as far as knowledge, and if you get a chance, go back and watch it. It's wonderful.
Yeah,
and that's the best $20 you'll spend. Too.
Absolutely, and it's AmazingRibs.com if you don't know about it. So we were talking last week, and I think both Meathead and I concur with the fact that And I was saying in the lead in here before we had you on that Thanksgiving somehow has been able to distance itself from any type of over commercialization. We really don't ever see any Thanksgiving is coming up holiday commercials or products that are being pitched around on the television. No super hype. I mean, you just know it's coming, and pretty much that's it, and that's how it's always been. So, I mean, how have you seen Thanksgiving, and what are some of the recollections that you have growing up?
Well, I know here at our house, it's a deep breath day because, Greg, that kicks off the busiest travel time of the year. And, of course, that's how I make my living, on people traveling. Wednesday before Thanksgiving is normally the second to third busiest day in my calendar year. So that's when we kick it off. And, of course, the 30 days between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we're pretty much, I'm pretty much 24/7 working. So on Thanksgiving, we take a deep breath. We try to have some friends over. And on the day before, on that Wednesday, we'll set up the trailer and the smoker. And we did this last year, and we'll cook some turkeys, and friends, if they want us to smoke their birds, they'll bring them over to the gas station, and we'll get there real early and set up. And people like to see that. People like to come over. Like last year, they checked out the pit, just said, asked us a lot of questions. And it was really a fun day, and it's nothing better than, having fun at work.
Are you a whole turkey guy? Do you spatchcock turkey? Will you part it out raw and cook it in pieces? I mean, what's your deal?
No, I'm a full turkey. I'm a beer can guy. I've got the extra large big platform on the bottom with the beer can looking thing, and I set that bird right on there, and I lather it up, and I get David Bosca's rub, and I'll put it all over it, and margarine it and keep it buttered down, and that's how I do it.
Have you ever tried any of those fakakta methods, like cooking it breast side down because it's supposed to stay more juicy because the juice is collecting down there instead of running out the back?
No, my wife was talking about that today. She said that she saw something that somebody started it on its back, and then after you cook it for an hour, you grab it and you flip it over. I just let it sit there. Last year I cooked it on my big green egg, and this year I'm going to do it on my Smoky Mountain Weber, and then we're going to do a couple in the Superior. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how each one comes out on each different apparatus that we have.
Are you main Thanksgiving Day eating guy, or do you like to cook on Thanksgiving to then enjoy the leftovers for a few days to come after that? Because so a lot of people don't necessarily really enjoy the day of. I mean, they like it, but they really love the leftovers after the fact.
Well, the leftovers on biscuits and brown gravy are my favorite. I like to cook. I've only been doing it. I've only been in the barbecue thing for 3 years, so I just started 3 years ago, and I've really enjoyed it. But up to then, my wife always cooks the turkey that we eat at dinner because she doesn't like smoked meat that much, and she always worries about me burning it. And she doesn't have the trust in me yet to say, you go ahead, you're the first string guy. So I'm still the guy that comes off the bench, and she's first string.
Are you? Do you guys eat cranberries at the table?
No, I don't.
Nothing.
No.
Neither version, whether it's the regular true cranberries or the cranberry out of the can.
We're sweet potato guys.
Oh, with marshmallows, or do you just whole sweet potato?
Marshmallows, sweet potatoes, and she'll make sweet potatoes, and she'll make regular mashed potatoes too.
Is there a difference? This shows you how un-Southern I am, I suppose, and I don't remember. I don't want my mom to smack me when she sees me, but I don't recall sweet potatoes being on the table. I mean, there was a lot of stuff on the table, but I don't. Maybe it's just because I didn't really prefer them when I was a youth, and I don't remember. But are yams and sweet potatoes two different things?
No, same thing.
Yams and sweet potatoes are the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah.
Oh, all right.
They're delicious. They're great. Sweet potatoes are just they're wonderful. It's one of the greatest foods there are. I like sweet potato French fries. I like to smash them up. I'd rather have a sweet potato, baked potato, than a regular baked potato. I think a sweet potato with brown sugar and butter and sour cream in it is one of my evil sins of my food life. It's great.
Steve Ray joining me here on the show, talking about Thanksgiving coming up and some of the stuff. You have a big Thanksgiving? You have a bunch of friends and family over, or are you just kind of gearing up for that?
We're trying that this year. I've got some friends we're trying to get to come over with their mom and dads. I'm so busy that time of year. My mom lives up in Knoxville, so it's hard for me to get up there. So I've never really gone home for Thanksgiving, but she'll go with my sister, and then we'll have some friends over here. My wife's mom and dad will come down from Oak Ridge, so it'll be a big day. It'll be a fun day. I look forward to it. It is by far my favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. I love it.
All right, Steve Ray is my guest. Again, you can find him on the Facebook, Midnight Oil Steve Ray. You can friend him up. He'll friend you back. And don't forget to check him out. It's 9 o'clock on ESPNChattanooga.com, right?
ESPNChattanooga.com, absolutely.
Right. And if you have any car questions, Steve and Steve will be able to at least, if not repair it right on the airways, at least head you in the right direction, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, we've been doing it for 18 years, and we have a lot of fun, and a lot of people call with some interesting questions, and sometimes we even get stumped, but we'll try to find the answer.
All right, Steve. Always appreciate the time, and happy Thanksgiving.
Same to you, Gray. We look forward to seeing you again soon.
All right, take care. There he is, Steve Ray, Midnight Oil Steve Ray, there on the Facebook. If you partake in the Facebook, I hear it's really gaining popularity. So you might want to think about joining. This whole internet craze seems to be really catching on. So Dave Bosca weighing in. Yes, so all so-called yams are in fact sweet potatoes. Most people think that long red-skinned sweet potatoes are yams, but they're really just one of the many varieties of sweet potatoes. Just like there are many breeds of pecans. I didn't even know there were breeds of pecans.
Get that big stuff out of here.
I thought a nut was a nut. Peanut's a peanut. Cashew's a cashew. And so forth. Allow me to show my knowledge on... Oh, I'm not going to say that. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to say what I was going to say. No way. Yeah, I mean, that was like the question of the... and I never... remember to ask anybody about it. I don't know if we've gone through any number of Thanksgiving shows here on the Barbecue Central show where we've talked about side dishes and stuff. And if people say sweet potatoes, and then I haven't thought, because in my big grocery store, there's a sign that says yams. And if I'm not mistaken, there is also a sign a little farther down that says sweet potatoes. Now, I haven't actually gone and done the homework to see if, one is more than the other and they're trying to, sucker you in. Don't fall for that, evidently. Yams are just a varietal of sweet potato. Sweet potato is the umbrella and yam is just underneath it. I mean, who knew? Let me tell you what I know. I know, undoubtedly, as I've started to see the commercials more and more and more. If you didn't know, McRib is back. Oh, no. Folks, I have railed against McRib for years and years and years. And I must say that as... looking at it from a businessman's point of view, where I can't necessarily say that McDonald's does they do a great job marketing, right? I mean, they're always on television. They are able to contract with big stars, sports stars, movies, whatever. They run great monopoly promotions. I think all of that dwarfed by this phenomenon, which continues year after year, almost growing in its popularity year after year, of McRib. So here's a product that comes out for, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, tops, in like the worst time of the year. Now, winter, with a summertime food like McRib. I mean, you think rib. I don't know if you ever think McRib, but you think rib. I inherently think of warmer weather, 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, what have you. any summer weekend that I feel like firing up the cookers. And then there's this McRib, and they show this new, I don't know if anybody's seen the new video where they hire some, skeptic person right off the street. Well, maybe not hire him, but they snatch him right off the street and bring him to the McDonald's McRib processing plant, and they show you all the pork that they're using and how they shred it down and compress it, and it's all clean pork. It's all pork picnic is what he's saying. They take all the fat out of it, or as much as possible, and it's all 100% pork picnic, and it's ground, and then it's put through its seasoning profiles. I think it's pasteurized, maybe. Might have to legally be or something like that. Look, the bottom line is this. I will never, ever fault, condemn, or degrade a company that has been able to capture the hearts and minds of a very large segment of any consuming public. Kudos to you. But I will tell you this. This sandwich is a travesty. It is not rib. Pork picnic is not a spare baby back. That's a rib. That's rib meat. Pork picnic is like Boston. It's, part of the Boston butt. Bigger part. The whole thing. The whole shoulder. No, that's incorrect. I'm sorry. Not the whole shoulder. Part of the whole shoulder, the pork picnic, with the skin on it. You've seen it. And I don't know why they continue to call it a McRib, other than the fact that it's pressed into what it kind of looks like a rack of ribs, except, there's no bones and there's no membrane to take off the back, and it really doesn't taste like rib meat at all, and it really doesn't taste like pork at all. But all you consuming people eating this, that's redundant. All you people going out and buying this and stuffing it in your face at a rapid rate because, oh my God, I could wake up tomorrow and McRib could be off of the menu. I can't let that happen without cramming one more McPoop in my face before it goes away for 10 months. Shame on you. Get some ribs, cook them up right, get some nice buns and sauce, leave out the pickles. What? Pickles? Save pickles for your wannabe Chick-fil-A sandwich. And have a real rib sandwich or rib tip sandwich or something. We got to press away at a fevered pitch from the McRib. This is not good. It's not helping anybody. It's tantamount to cigarettes. I don't know anybody that's eating it that is reaping any health reward. I don't know anybody that's smoking cigarettes that is reaping any kind of health reward. So there you have it. Watch out for McRib. It's back. Speaking of people that are back, Stephen DeFranco of Stephen DeFranco Jewelers is back. And here to tell you and to come clean, he's a barbecue junkie. Well, who isn't that's watching the show or listening to the show? Christmas is now a little over a month and a half away. Watch out. Watch out. Don't be caught behind. I'm telling you now. November 18th, we are ready. We know what to do. What are we going to do? We're going to go visit Stephen's website, StephenDeFranco.com. We're going to call a number, 440-943-2700. And we will make sure that we're asking some right questions. We're not getting upsold on stuff that we really can't afford to buy, nor do we want to buy. I mean, nothing worse than being made to feel the fool and spending more money than we really want to. And then end up having buyer's remorse. Steve doesn't want to have any buyer's remorse. I mean, that's the worst thing ever, right? You spend a whole bunch of money because you spend a whole bunch of money. You're not confident through the buying process. And then you walk out the door with, something that's $800 or $400 or $2,400 or more. And you get in the car and you're like, I don't really like it. What am I doing now? I really like it. Buyer's remorse. Hate buyer's remorse. How do you fix it? Go to StephenDeFranco.com, 440-943-2700, and let him help you. pick something out or tell him you have an idea or you saw a few things on the website that you wanted to pick his brain about, he's more than happy to answer any and all questions, give you other suggestions on stuff that maybe he thinks might work out better for you. Maybe you're trying to convey a certain emotion with that gift. He'll help you out. Free shipping, of course. The extra warranty because of that watch performance program that nobody else is offering in the market right now. StephenDeFranco.com, 440-943-2700. That's 440-943-2700. Stephen DeFranco, proud sponsor of this show. Proud to have him. We're back to wrap up the first hour right after this. Stick around.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
We are back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your two ways to get in contact with me in the second hour, should you see fit. Thanks again to Steve Ray for joining me this past two segments, talking a little bit about Thanksgiving, a lot of bit about the Chatsworth, Georgia competition. And some tire talk. I mean, seasons change. You got to talk tires, right? Yeah, absolutely. You don't want to be caught in the cold. And again, I remember growing up in the upstate New York area and hearing those snow tires whirring down the road. Hey, that guy's got snow tires. That guy's got snow. We had snow tires on the B210. That's a back-wheel drive car, I believe. So you gotta have traction, otherwise you end up in the ditch. Don't want that. Then the all-weather radials take over, or the all-weather tires, all-weather performance tires, and now we're starting to see a little bit of a shift back where people are actually buying them and you switch them out like shoes. He's saying you can switch tires in 5 minutes. Not where I come from. I do not have a air wrench or whatever they call it. You know, like NASCAR. Vroom, 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 vroom. I don't have that. I don't even think, I'm no mechanic, but I don't know if it's really a good idea to put on lug nuts with air wrenches because they could over-tighten and then you can't use your regular lug nut wrench to get them off when you're stuck on the side of the road because you took a flat. You ran over some nails like a schmuck. That's no fun. Nobody wants that. But I see these snow tires making a comeback. I might buy some. It's getting to the point where I might have to step up. We already got a snow blower for the impending snow season, which means, what does that mean? There's going to be no snow. As soon as that thing hits the ground, it has to be built because there was a sale on it. And then there was a run on snow blowers, just like the model I wanted, or if I would have picked it up a week ago, I would have paid $80 more for it, but I would have had it. But I haven't needed it yet. I'll have it set pickup date in 2 weeks. So, yeah, we're looking forward to that. Kinger chiming in. Snow tires should be put on when the temperature goes below 44 degrees Celsius. Kinger, the question is this. What's Celsius? I have no idea what that is. Celsius. Is that the hot chick in high school? Celsius. Hey, Celsius, how's it go? I don't know what that means. Somebody convert that. Is that 88 degrees or something like that? I don't know. All right. We are going to step away and refresh libation. When we come back, we'll have second takes. We'll also gear up for the second hour guest, Sam Zion, Sam the Cooking Guy. You can check out his exploits at thesamlivecast.com or thecookingguy.com, thecookingguy.com. You are listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show right here on the Barbecue Central Radio Networks. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Your 2 bits of contact information. Happy to take your call and your take on Thanksgiving or whatever you got on your mind. Ready to hear for you. All right, we'll be back. Stick around.
This is Chris Payne from Euclid, Ohio, and you are listening to Barbecue Central.
From my heart and from my hand, why don't people understand my intention?
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan. So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shake your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
All right, top men, we are back at it for the second hour. Hey, everybody. You have found and landed upon the Barbecue Central Show. This is the show that talks about all things important in the world of barbecue and grilling. We broadcast live and direct from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city of Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast, although you wouldn't know it over the last couple weeks with the cold weather snap. I guess not that you would know it was the barbecue capital even in the middle of damn summer. That's neither here nor there. It is the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I am your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard. A couple bits of contact information should you want to jump in tonight, 216-220-0966. You can also email the show, Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Anything else you want to find out about the show can be found at the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com, if you are so inclined. I was talking about snowblowers and how I finally broke down. I mean, it's taken a lot, but mostly the fact that I'm getting old ass. And I, do have a house full of chillins, but they're all girls, ranging 13, 11, 9. So the old snow shoveling skills, aren't inherent evidently. We were told, go out and shovel it. Get it done. Shovel that mile-long driveway. Although we were blessed for a little bit with a snowblower back in the day from my mom's mom that we took from the booming metropolis of Hornell, New York. Anybody tell me where Hornell, New York is? You win a prize, ladies and gentlemen. And so that helped out. And then I think that ended up taking a dump, and we were right back to, shoveling it by hand until, that was it. And that's what I've done ever since. I haven't had extremely long driveways, although the new Palatial Studios has the longest drive that I've ever had in my long, illustrious career of owning homes, which now currently total 2. However, it's a little bit of a slope, and, there's no way my girls are going to clear that off. So my wife, Becky, was like, this is the year. 40. There's many articles written last year that my friend, him, Deputy Corey. Shout out to Deputy Corey, everybody. Shout out. I never shout out. But I will shout out the law. Not shout at, shout out. Law, what's up? Corey, what's up? And he said, hey, I read this article. No matter what shape you're in, no matter, you could be Johnny the Iron Man triathlete, 42 years old. If you're 40 years old and there's more than a half an inch of snow, health experts recommend and ask you to adhere to not shovel. Don't do it.
Get that big stuff out of here.
Your heart rate will elevate too quickly, and he cited some outrageously high number of men, women, usually men, over 40, shoveling snow, having heart attacks and dying right there in the proverbial street. Don't want that. Well, you're not going to stink. Just don't fall in the bank when it's really snowing, get covered up, and people wondering where the hell you went for 4 days. Why is Daddy blue? Oh, no! Kidding. So she said, hey, this is the year. We're going to buy it. I said, you know what's going to happen? We're going to buy the snowblower, and it's not going to snow. Dick Goddard, well, nobody knows who that is. Our famous local old weather guy who can barely construct a sentence anymore. It's unbelievable that this guy is still on air, and I have not found traditional airwaves. It's a crime.
Get that big stuff out of here.
He cannot put together 2 words of coherence. And he has been on the air for roughly 758 years. I'm not kidding. Google Dick Goddard, Cleveland's official weatherman, Channel 8, Dick Goddard. I mean, he is literally 758 years old. And I said, all right, well, we'll do it. And then we were at the place to buy it, and we didn't buy it. A couple weeks later, we were back and didn't buy it. We went back 2 weeks ago, ready to buy, cash in hand. Oh, we're sold out of that one that you want. One on sale. What? No! So as I said before, we'll grab it here in a couple weeks, and then let it snow as it will. I got electric start. I got 24-inch clearing power. I will be waiting on the snow, ready to go, gas cans in hand. All right, let's go ahead and hop on over to the Kansas City Barbecue Society websites as we review your top 10 KCBS Team of the Year points race leaders as we are coming down to the end. Still in first place, as he has been the majority of the year, Warren County Pork Choppers, Donnie Bray and the team. In second place, 49 points away. Is that bad math? 59 points away. Darren Worth, Iowa Smoky D's. With his win this past week, helping his chances at 2,830 points. Tom Houston, Checkered Pig. Yep, yes, sir, yes, sir. And then we have number 4, the current KCBS Team of the Year, True Bud Barbecue. And rounding out the top 5, Smoke Me Silly. Wow. Now, where did I find... There was another result. World Food Championships, World Barbecue Championship. This was a competitors series. There were 42 entrants. And British Bulldog Barbecue took overall grand champion. Kaboom. British Bulldog. Rooftop Barbecue, West Coaster. Second, third overall, Victory Lane. And fourth overall, Scott Nelson and Pigskin Barbecue. Scotty! What's up, bro? And so that was a competitors series, so I believe points do not go to any type of KCBS Team of the Year stuff. Just in case you're wondering, let me head on over to this website real quick. Make sure I'm typing it in right. BarbecueScores.com. And let's see. Results by contest. No. Where's the Team of the Year awards? There we go. Come on, load. Sweet Nelly. All right. Overall, teams cooking 1 to 5 contests. Fred Vegas Smokers. Yes. In the category of 6 to 12 contests, your current number 1 leader, believe it or not, look at this guy, Moyer's competition barbecue team. Look at him. Look at him. And your overall Team of the Year leader for teams cooking between 13 and 25 barbecue contests, Tim Grant and the team of True Bud Barbecue. There you go. 1-2 BBQ second, Clark Crew Barbecue third, John Nilgis Parrot Head Smokers fourth, and Scott Nelson Pigskin Barbecue fifth overall. According to Barbecue Scores, again, that's bbqscores.com. So if you don't cook a lot of contests, if you cook 1 to 5 or 6 to 12 or 13 to 25, here is a website that you can go to and find out your rank and see where you're at. Provided by, or provided in part by, Big Papa Smoke. Coincidentally, that would be who I'm going to be talking to you about right now, Big Papa Smokers. The one-stop shop for anyone interested in barbecue, featuring a comprehensive selection of all-American-made grills, spices, sauces, accessories, even a kit that gives you everything you need to make a world-class smoker out of a 55-gallon drum. Big Papa Smokers has made a name for itself by making an award-winning line of championship rubs. Their rubs have won almost every major competition barbecue event, including the 2012 and 13 World Series of Barbecue in Kansas City, the 2012 and 14 Jack Daniels Invitational, the 2013 Kingsford Challenge, and the 2014 Houston Livestock and Rodeo. Many, many more to still come. BPS has also banded together with fellow California-based barbecue rub company Simply Marvelous Barbecue to form what has now become the West Coast Offense. Defying conventional wisdom, these two California-based barbecue rub makers have cornered the market on competitive barbecue and begun to redefine the flavor profile that competitive cooks from across the country have begun to aim for. They've even created 2 of their own unique competitions, King of the Smoker, which brings the best of the best in the barbecue world head-to-head in a back-to-basics competition. King of the Smoker is unique in the fact that contestants may not use any electric devices, such as pellet cookers or pit minders. Contestants are just allowed to use charcoal, wood, and their wits to win one of the most high-stakes barbecue competitions around. The other competition that BPS has started is known as the Guinea Pig, which is a cost-controlled competition that helps to bring in newcomers to the competitive barbecue world. Also features prize distribution all the way down to 10th place in each category. That helps provide incentive to get new competition teams into the world of barbecue. Fantastic idea, novel. On top of all that, Big Papa's has created a unique brand ambassador program, the BPS Elite Team, featuring 15 of the best competition teams in the country working together to promote camaraderie, competition barbecue, and to benefit children's charities across the U.S. Keep in mind that Big Papa Smokers has been able to do all of this with only 4 years of being in the business, turning the competition barbecue world on its head, creating their own unique competitions, being a staple of a nationwide restaurant chain, and benefiting children's charities for across the United States. It's just the beginning for Big Papa Smokers, just the beginning. The website, bigpapasmokers.com. That's bigpapasmokers.com. Also, in part, bbqscores.com if you want to check that out. We're back with Sam, the cooking guy, right after this. Stick around. We will be right back.
Broadcasting live from the Barbecue Central Radio Network studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. 216-220-0966. Greg at the bbqcentralshow.com. Your 2 bits of contact information in case you are looking to hop in on the show tonight. My next guest, a regular on this show, host of his own internet show, Sam Livecast. He is a multiple-time cookbook author. Website, thecookingguy.com, thesamlivecast.com, multiple-time Emmy Award winner, and friend o' mine. Let's race over to the hotline and welcome back friend of the show, Sam, the cooking guy. You know him, Sam Zion. Sam, how are you, bud?
What's up, my friend? How are you?
Man, way too long, brother, man. What's up?
I know.
Oh, my God.
You're big these days.
Yeah,
you don't
right.
You don't have time for little guys like me anymore.
Oh, yeah, little guy. Little Baker's Dozen Emmy Award-winning guys like you. Yeah, right. Okay. You notice all my awards right here, don't you?
You froze it on my screen. I don't know where that happened.
Oh, all right. Hold on. I think I can fix that.
Can you?
Maybe.
There you go. Yeah,
See, I've hung hard wood and put special spotlights up. So, I mean, what can I say? I'm a laborer's extraordinaire. Sam, the cooking guy, joining me here on the show. Lots to talk about here. I guess before we get into the Thanksgiving talk and more importantly, side dishes and leftover stuff, which is very important to the whole holiday thing for Thanksgiving. I've been following you on the social medias in a stalker type fashion. Have you been traveling a lot recently, or is that like past stuff that you've been throwing back up for people to consume, or what?
No. I was quickly. We've both frozen now. As long as it's working on your end, I don't mind. But it's good. Okay, if it's good for you, then I'm good. No, I do some producing for a company in San Diego. Started off in front of the camera, and then it sort of morphed into behind the scenes. And they do this big event in New York every November that requires a crew to travel all over the world to interview partners of theirs. So in the past 2 months, I've been in London twice, Seoul, Korea, Beijing, San Francisco 4 times, Seattle. I interviewed the CEOs of Microsoft and Verizon. It's a lot of fun, but it's a lot of travel. I mean, I can't say I don't like it, because I really do. I get to travel with guys that are good friends, that work hard, that do their jobs really well, and then we play hard too. So it's a good thing.
Beijing, China?
Beijing, China, which I would not race back to.
I was going to say, of all the places that you were naming off, look, self-admittedly, because I'm not going to be a hypocrite on my own show, and everybody knows. They're just waiting for me to trip up to give me the emails later.
There they are.
I'm not a traveler. I have no desire to go out of the country.
I find that interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
because I know
I
there's
just
a lot.
don't.
You're not alone in this.
Yeah,
There are a lot of people that don't want to travel.
Isn't the same thing? Isn't Max the same way? He doesn't have any desire to travel, like out of the country, or am I totally off base on this?
No, I think you're off base.
All right, good.
He likes to travel. Yeah,
yeah, but
we all do. I find it very interesting. You know, I mean, clearly I'm a food guy, so I really want to know what's going on food wise. And in Beijing, we ate really well. But I will say it is absolutely overwhelming. It is overwhelming. The best example I can give is in San Diego. I mean, I talk about going to foreign supermarkets. I mean, foreign. I mean, like other people's supermarkets here in San Diego. When I do a food event, there's a big Chinese market here. There's a big Japanese market. They're a lot of fun to go to. You learn a lot of stuff. But I always say both of these markets are completely indicative of the countries themselves. The Chinese supermarket is much larger than the Japanese one. The lighting is like fluorescent and in your eyes. The ceilings are high. There's a ton of people. There's pushing, shoving. There's yelling. It's noisy. It's chaotic. The Japanese supermarket is smaller. The lighting is lower level. The supermarket carts that you push are smaller. It's organized, it's quiet, and it's peaceful. It's mostly just like Japan itself. Beijing was so overwhelming to me that at one point I was at the Tiananmen Square and the Forbidden City. I had to leave. I couldn't take it anymore.
Because it's just so congested and so much.
Imagine a Chinese Disneyland, but like 10 times the size on the most national holiday of the year. So everybody's there. That's what it was like.
Is that like every day there? Is that like every day?
It was not a holiday. It was not a weekend. So it was just the Forbidden City that's absolutely gorgeous. But after about 30 minutes, I was like this. I was just, how the hell do I get out of here? I really couldn't take it anymore. It was just people overload.
How bad's the air quality over there? I don't know anybody that's ever been there. You see it, when it was in the Olympics and the fog's rolling in and people are wearing masks. How bad was it there when you were there?
Well, specifically, Beijing is supposed to always be horrible. And the 2 days that we were there, everybody said, wow, we can't believe how the air is not disgusting for your trip.
Wow.
We hit it just somewhat. Whatever we did it right. We got relatively clear skies. We got good weather. But an awful lot of people, I'm telling you.
Yeah. Do you stick out?
When you see signs that say no spitting,
yeah,
they're there for a reason.
Yeah. Do you stick out like a sore thumb there? I mean, you like the minute bowl of China there, or not so much?
No, not so much. There's quite a few Western people there. Some areas you go to, you're sticking out like a green thumb, no matter what. But other parts, there's lots of everybody. It's really interesting. Seoul, I mean, I really liked Seoul. Seoul was like all the good parts of sort of an Asian country, and it was like there was a lot of tradition and culture, and then there was like amazing, modern skyscrapers and facilities and buildings, and the food was great. We did a Korean barbecue thing that is done at the table. You order and you get a big platter of various cuts of meat, mostly beef, and you cook them right there on the table in front of you. And there's like a duct that comes down, like a flexible duct that they can push around to the different burners on the table. It's right over top of the burner, and there's you see these things hanging all over the restaurant.
Yeah.
And you sit and you cook, and then you've got rice and vegetables and things, and you cook the meat and you dip it in a sauce, and then on the rice, and then you eat. Really good, really, really good, and a completely different barbecue world than you are used to, but you would really appreciate that.
Yeah, I mean, I think, when I say I don't have any desire to travel, the food thing to me obviously is very interesting, as it is to you, and you get to go and experience it. But I guess it's just the fact of actually having to go there is what's keeping me from going there. It's the whole traveling part.
Traveling is not what it used to be years ago, and I don't even know if I remember what it was years ago, but I do remember seeing those old movies, and it was pretty luxurious. Even in, the economy class cabins, men wore suits and ladies dressed up, and it was really an event. And it's completely changed right now. And, fortunately, the business travel that I've had to do, we've been fortunate to fly business class, which you can fly a long way in a business class seat because, they basically go like this. But business class doesn't mean any better level of person dressing up. You'll see guys in shitty looking shorts and crappy pants and ripped tee. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I don't like to go out looking like really ratty. And I certainly wouldn't fly looking like that. I'm not wearing a suit, but at least I'm in, reasonably respectable clothing. But people are like, I want to be comfortable, and I don't give a crap what I look like. And I mean, I guess there's something to that thinking. Yeah, you want to be comfortable, but maybe change on the plane. Go put sweatpants on when you get on the plane. You don't have to wear clothes that you look like you just got out of bed in, travel to the airport, go through customs and TSA and all that stuff, looking like a complete schlep.
Yeah, absolutely. Act like you've been there a little bit, for crying out loud. All right, so Sam, let's talk for the remainder of this segment and the next segment about the impending Thanksgiving holiday. Of course, I think last year we talked about how this seems to be a holiday that everybody loves, and it has escaped any large amount of commercialization that you would associate with any other of the holidays right around Halloween, Christmas, or the holiday season, if you will. All commercialized to a large degree, but for whatever reason, Thanksgiving has been able to keep itself as an aside to that. And everybody knows about it. Everybody loves it. We all know what we're looking forward to, but you just don't see it too much on television. But there is that pressure of not screwing up the turkey and things like this. So as someone who is in the food business, and you're talking to people all the time about, probably this is a huge busy time for you, about how do I not screw up the turkey? I mean, do you have the standard nuggets of wisdom for folks when they're asking?
Of course. And really, I think and you know what, I shoot a lot of stuff for Bed Bath & Beyond. And if you go to blog.bedbathandbeyond.com the next week, there will be tons of stuff that we've shot about how to make sure that you have a pretty successful Thanksgiving, even for somebody that has never done it before. And there's recipes there on how to twine up a turkey and brine one and all that stuff. But all that being said, I really think that, organization is the most important thing you can do. It really is. If you're organized, you've figured out, how many people you've got, where they're going to sit. I mean, the little details like that are the things that completely screw with your head at the last minute. So knowing how many people are coming, knowing where everybody's going to sit, knowing what kind of Thanksgiving you want. Do you want a completely casual one where people just go up to the kitchen counter and put the food on their plates and then they go sit whatever? Or do you want one where everybody's sitting at a particular table? It's that kind of thing. Are you doing everything yourself? Are you asking people to bring stuff? And by the way, if you're hosting Thanksgiving and you're not asking people to bring stuff, you're absolutely out of your mind.
Really?
Or you're Martha Stewart. Have people bring things. We've got 18 people coming here for Thanksgiving. Everybody's getting a job. Some will get a minor job, like bring, the biggest bottle of vodka you can get your hands on. And I'll tell them what kind of vodka we like and what not to buy.
Yeah.
Or somebody's getting wine. Peg, that lives up the street, I ran into her at the supermarket today. We decided right then and there. She's making the cranberry sauce that she makes fresh with lots of extra citrus zest in it, which is a really good way to do it.
I like
and
the canned stuff, dude.
Green beans with lots of really delicious crispy pancetta in it.
Ooh.
So that's done. My sister-in-law's on desserts. Somebody will be on salads. Because you host doesn't mean do everything that has to be cooked that day. And it also doesn't mean you have to cook everything that day.
Yeah, I think
if you're gonna make a pie from scratch, make it 2 or 3 days before.
Yep.
Any casserole that you have to do, you could do that 4 or 5 days before. They're only going to get better, Like lasagna, everybody knows lasagna is better the next day.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying have lasagna for Thanksgiving dinner, but anything like that, like scalloped potatoes, make them the day before. Get them hot in the oven. They'll bubble, they'll crisp, they'll do all the right things. But at the last minute, you're only heating them. You're not making them.
All right, so great advice. Sam Zion, Sam the Cooking Guy, joining me, thecookingguy.com. Of course, you can watch his live web show, the samlivecast.com at that website. So one of the greatest things, as you said, everybody knows lasagna is better the second day. Even in the barbecue world, smoked brisket, pulled pork, always better the second day, especially for the cook because you're bathing in the smoke and your senses get dulled. And then the next day you're like, wow, this tastes even better. You're not all hopped up on smoke. One of the best things, and I was just talking with my first hour guest, how there's a faction of people that actually look more forward to the days after Thanksgiving than the actual meal itself. There he is. You're one of them. Because
absolutely,
little thing called leftovers, the sandwiches and all this other stuff. And I'm like, well, instead of, just the same run-of-the-mill crap that you're going to do, why not have somebody on that knows what the F they're doing and that will help you elevate the leftover game? And so that's it is, right?
And he wasn't available tonight, so you got me.
That's right. Here's Sam, everybody. Yeah, so...
it's how appropriate, because this week on the live cast is what we've called elevating your Thanksgiving leftovers week, trying to make something out of them that maybe you wouldn't think about doing.
Yeah.
Look, you can make a turkey sandwich all day long, right?
All day.
And everybody loves that.
Yep.
And put stuffing in our turkey taco. But we did a couple things this week that maybe you wouldn't make. And we started off Monday's episode, and it's on the livecast.com. You can go watch it. We combined turkey, stuffing, and mashed potatoes with some crispy bacon and some sauteed onions into really what amount to be like little crab cake size things.
Yeah.
We fried them in a pan with a little olive oil and a little butter. And there they are. We served them on this little arugula salad that we made with a dressing that has sage in it to keep the theme going. And lest you think it's a sophisticated little dish, it is a super simple. You're just mixing everything in a bowl. But, oh, my God, Greg, so damn delicious and not the same thing again.
Which is key. It's key. I mean,
it is key.
Just keep making the same thing. I mean, you're not expanding anything.
I mean, I feel like Thanksgiving itself is licensed to make the same thing again.
Yeah.
You're going to have Aunt Ruth's
the standbys, all the traditional
potato with the little marshmallows on top,
right.
or Cousin Nancy's green bean casserole with the crispy onions and stuff like that. But let yourself go a little bit when it comes to the leftovers, right?
Yeah, absolutely. All right, what? So that was that the stuffing ball?
We did stuffing balls too. I can't. We frozen again, so I can't see them. So
all right.
If you're looking at little round things, those are merely little rolled balls of stuffing that we've dipped in beaten egg. No, that with the green. Wait, no. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Okay. So you take a little bit of stuffing, you roll it in a ball in your hand, you dip it in beaten egg, and then you roll it in breadcrumbs. And then you put it on a baking sheet and you bake it. They're crispy, they're crunchy. And who doesn't love stuffing? I mean, everybody loves stuffing.
Yeah.
Unless you're from the South and then you call it dressing. Same thing. Stuffing balls, dressing balls. And we just take sour cream, mix it with a little hot sauce, because the cool of the sour cream plays beautifully against the the warm, hot little crispy ball. And the hot sauce does all the right things in the sour cream. It gives it a little heat. And I mean, it's super delicious.
All right, so let me do this. We're going to quickly step away so I can talk to everybody about Cook Shack, and then we'll talk about pumpkin pancakes. We'll talk about stuffing omelet. We'll talk about Thanksgiving Benedict.
Oh, please.
And then we'll all have a group heart attack and be dead. There you go. Fabulous. All right, Sam Zion joining me here on the show. Sam, the cooking guy, thecookingguy.com, the samlivecast.com are his websites to check him out here while we're talking this evening. Let me talk to you quickly about Fast Eddie's by Cook Shack. A pellet grill is a smoker and a grill all in one. The stainless steel, 100% wood-burning pellet-fired cooker that uses direct and indirect heat, and it goes all the way up to 800 degrees. It is the only pellet grill on the market that uses charbroiler technology. It features electronically controlled temperature to eliminate large heat fluctuations that dry and shrink meat. Pellet grill can barbecue, grill, bake, roast, sear, and smoke. Cook Shack has two models of pellet grills to choose from. The PG-1000 features a fully insulated double-wall rolled hood for superior heat retention, fuel savings, and maximum cooking performance. The PG-500 features a two-way swing lid and utensil holder. The 500 and 1000 have many great features, including 784 square inches of cooking space, easy side-loading pellet hopper, fully automated wood pellet feed system, stainless steel cooking grates on the direct zone side that produce killer-looking sear marks, nickel-plated grill on the indirect and top racks, a drip bucket, a pellet ashtray, 100% stainless steel construction, a warming drawer. How about 40 pounds of Cook Shack hickory wood pellets, just like that? How about the most important thing of all, the 30-day money-back guarantee? What if I told you that you could get the PG-500 or the PG-1000, put it on your back deck or in your garage or whatever you're going to do it, cook on it for 30 days, cook your face off on it, and then at 30 days decide, I don't like it. Go ahead, send it back to Cook Shack. They will give you your money back. That's a 30-day guarantee. You can absolutely fall in love with it. And if you don't, no risk on your part. Give it a try. You'll be happy that you did. It's a versatile pellet cooker that adds full flavor to your recipes, including fajitas, ribs, chicken, steaks, desserts, sides, and large cuts of meat. It can do it all, including cold smoking. Do yourself a favor. And for more information, visit the website that is dedicated to the pellet grill, pelletcooker.com. That's pelletcooker.com. Or you can call Cook Shack, 800-423-0698. That's 800-423-0698. And let them know Rempe and the Barbecue Central Show sent you over. They'll be happy that you said that. I'll be happy you said that. And you'll be happy to try out that grill, the PG-500, the 1000, for 30 days. You're safe. You're covered. Cookshack.com, pelletcooker.com, 423-0698. We're back with Sam the Cooking Guy right after this. Stick around.
Big name interviews, advice on cooking brisket and ribs, and the only host willing to share his honest opinion on all things important in the world of barbecue. It's the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, we are back. 216-220-0966. Greg at thebbqcentralshow.com. Sam Zion joining me here on the show. We were talking about those stuffing balls. You're, I'm making my own self-conclusions here, but, you know, it's, you like to make, like, the dipping sauces. You did the, was it steak sauce and sour cream? And then you did steak sauce and the sour cream and the hot sauce. I mean, you're a big sour cream and something guy in it, right?
I am. I like. I think it's just. I mean, look, it adds a little. It's a little point of interestingness and moisture for things that I think need them. You could eat that little stuffing ball by itself, and it would be great. But dipped into that little sour cream hot sauce thing, it's majestic. I had a little private event last night, and one of the things I made were. Like breakfast sausages, uncooked breakfast sausages rolled in puff pastry, really like little baby sausage rolls. I mean, I make them about an inch long. And when you buy sausage rolls in Canada, because of the British influence, are very popular. And when you buy a sausage roll there, it's a sausage roll. It doesn't have any sauce. But when I do them as little tiny baby ones, they're delicious like that, but I still like a sauce. And I made a sauce last night that was a combination of steak sauce and apricot jam mixed together.
Whoa.
So you got the tart and the tangy of the steak sauce mellowed out by the apricot jam a little bit. And it's fan-freaking-tastic.
Yeah, that sounds like an absolute flavor explosion in your mouth.
It really is. And, it's 4 ingredients, including the sauce. And the sausage rolls are 2 ingredients. If you go to thecookingguy.com, they're called baby British sausage rolls. If you just look up the word sausage, anything with sausage will come up, and that will be one of the ones that's there. Perfect appetizer for all of the entertaining and the partying and everything that's coming up in the next month and a half.
You know what's big in Canada that I never see down here?
Yeah.
Something called poutine.
Poutine.
What the hell? How come I can't get sausage on my fries down here in the United States? We got frickin' McRib down here. We can't get poutine?
Well, no, there are some. You know where you'll find it?
No.
If you go to Brooklyn, you'll find it in like hipster little restaurants there.
Like New York City, Brooklyn?
New York City, Brooklyn, yeah. So poutine is it's very simple. Do you know what cheese curds are?
Yeah, of course.
You got them in your part of the world?
Well, yeah, Wisconsin.
Okay. So you have to bring them in. You probably won't get fresh ones. Like we don't get fresh ones here. Poutine is simply a big pile of French fries, a bunch of cheese curds on top, and a really delicious, rich beef gravy over the top of that. That's all it is. At its simplest, that's all it is. And it is so delicious. So delicious. You can mimic it by either putting like shredded mozzarella on top, or you can get fresh mozzarella and just chop it up into little tiny bits. Put that on top of the fresh fries that come right out of the oven, and then gravy over the top of it. It's effing amazing.
That should be a side for Thanksgiving.
It should be a side for Thanksgiving.
Here's turkey, here's poutine.
When the Olympics were in Vancouver, I don't know how many years ago. 7 years ago? What the hell was it?
At least.
Winter Olympics. So it was 8 years ago. I was on the Today Show in Vancouver. I did 3 types of poutine.
Really?
On the Today Show, yeah.
How many times did you have to tell Kathy Lee Gifford to shut the fuck up?
Only once.
Yeah, that's
once.
That's a different story for different day.
It is a different
All right,
story.
so let's get back to your awesome leftover stuff here. All right, so here's the one. The picture is phenomenal, by the way. But I'm interested to talk about pumpkin pancakes.
Wow.
So I'm going to pull that up here real quick. Hold on one second.
I am of the mind that says, in a pinch, I'd rather not whip out the flour, the baking soda, the buttermilk, the blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
I keep a box of Just Add Water pancake mix in my pantry. Because with it, I can do all kinds of things. Not the least of which are pumpkin pancakes. And all it takes is a couple of big fat spoonfuls of pumpkin puree that comes right out of a can into Just Add Water pumpkin pancake mix. And brother, you got pancakes with pumpkin in them that are so delicious.
And do you have them sprinkled with nuts, or what's on top of that?
That's pecans.
Oh, pecans, right.
Pecans, sorry.
Well, I don't even say. I just learned tonight.
I speak the Queen's English.
Did you know that there's different types of pecans?
Well, I had a sense that there's a few different types. Are you going to get all sophisticated on me here?
No, I just learned that tonight. By the way, ready for a quick quiz show?
Yes.
All right. True or false? Sam, the cooking guy. We'll see about that.
Yes.
Yams are the same thing as sweet potatoes. True or false?
False.
No.
What?
Yams are the same thing as sweet potatoes. It's a different varietal of sweet potato.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, see, I learned that with the pecan stuff. You might want to recheck those Emmys, pal. All right, so So here you go. You got these.
They're not for technical knowledge.
They're for good looks and award-winning personality. Of course.
No, not for that either.
All right. So we got pumpkin pancakes. Now here's the other thing. I got to get the picture up here.
You're a Benedict guy.
Here we go. All right. Do you see that or no?
No.
All right. Let me.
Tell me what it is.
I'm going to freeze you and then unfreeze you.
I saw it. Stuffing omelet.
Can you see it now?
I'm going to tell you this.
Yeah.
We have made in my household every year for probably the past 15 or 17 years, maybe longer, maybe 20, a stuffing omelet the morning after Thanksgiving. And it consists of a couple eggs beaten properly.
Yep.
I don't add milk. I don't add a tablespoon of water. I don't want light eggs. I want eggs the way God intended them to be. So you make a proper omelet. And do you know how to make a proper omelet? I mean, I'm not going to go into it now.
Well, I sure don't. I mean, I'll tell you what I do. I beat the egg. Yeah. I do add a little milk. And then I just put it in like a small skillet.
Correct.
Put a top on it. And then, let it kind of cook till it gets a little less than wet on top. I flip it over for a couple minutes, and then I put the stuff I want in the middle. And
that'll work. I don't do the top thing, and then I use a spatula, and I gently pull away from the sides and let the uncooked stuff run behind. But it doesn't matter. So you get to the point where it's time to add whatever you were going to add.
Yeah.
And I always heat up the stuffing first. I don't want to put cold. By the time the stuffing goes in, you're almost close to being done. So cold stuffing is not going to heat up. So heat the stuffing up. Just in a little bowl in the microwave or however you want to do it. The stuffing goes on one half the circle of the omelets, and then you cover it. Now, go with me on this.
Yeah.
With Kraft American slices.
That's all I put in my omelets.
There's no brie. There's no smoked cheddar. There's no feta. There's no blue cheese. There's no Shropshire blue. It's just Kraft American slices.
Yeah.
And don't go crazy with it. Like a slice and a half will cover, a slice to a slice and a half will cover what you got going in like a 2-egg omelet. You just want to cover the stuffing. Give it a couple of seconds, flip one half over the other half, and let it finish cooking. I'm telling you, there is something magical about the combination of simple eggs seasoned only with salt and pepper, good stuffing or dressing, as we've discussed, and the Kraft American slices. It's ridiculous how good that is.
Well, I think, too, with the proliferation of all the cooking shows and access to cooking everything and anything anymore, that there is a wild sensation of the need to over-season everything that you're putting in front of you. And, here's something, simple salt and pepper. Like for me on steak, simple salt and pepper. You don't got to go crazy all the time, right?
Look, how many barbecue guys, pit masters, geniuses, guys that have won tons of trophies and stuff, have you talked to? And their whole thing is salt and pepper.
Yeah, well, I talked to a guy 2 weeks ago. He's one of the most prolific guys in the last 10 years on the circuit. And, I mean, he does differ a little bit from most, but he is as basic as it gets. He doesn't, season hours and hours in advance. It's a little salt, little pepper, and then he'll season at some point during the cook just for taste and stuff. But, just, don't get so hype up on the seasoning. I mean, taste the stuff that you're cooking, right?
That's it. I think a lot of the times, people over season, they over sauce, they over everything that whatever the original protein was no longer tastes like that. I like a steak to taste like a steak.
Yeah.
It's simple. I don't really want it to taste like some barbecue sauce. Barbecue sauce is fine in a sandwich or whatever, that kind of thing. But especially if it's a good piece of meat. If you're putting barbecue sauce on a good piece of meat, something's wrong. You've either ruined it or you don't know how to cook.
Yeah, if you're
both the same thing, or you don't know what you're doing.
If you're putting it on to make it taste better, then obviously something has gone awry in the cooking process. All right, so let me see if I can find it here. Where is it at? Okay, this is probably it. You're probably frozen, so I'm going to unfreeze you.
There you go.
Here's this. This has to be Thanksgiving Benedict. Wow.
How gorgeous is that?
Oh, my God.
And I'm not sure that you can tell, but instead of an English muffin on the bottom, that's merely a stuffing patty.
Yeah.
It really is. I've taken the stuffing, I've formed it into the shape of a patty. I've gotten it crisp in a nonstick pan with a little butter and olive oil. And then poach an egg. And clearly, there's no hollandaise on that.
Nope.
It's turkey gravy.
Yeah.
As it should be. I could have put a little turkey underneath that. I don't know. I'm trying to think about if I did or not. I think I did. I think that went stuffing patty, turkey, poached egg, then the gravy.
All right. So let's talk very briefly about poached egg.
All right. Go ahead. Learn to poach an egg. That's my best advice.
Yeah. So could be hard to do the Eggs Benedict if you don't know how to poach an egg. Is there like a real quick, easy way to do that? Or is it just practice?
I suppose the quick, easy way would be like an electric poaching thing.
Yeah.
Little cups, you plug it in, you crack the egg. But I don't think that's. I think learning how to poach an egg is not difficult. I need to do just a straight tutorial on that on the Livecast site. And you know what? That's a good piece of thinking there. I'm going to do that. It's really this. You get a pot of water on the stove. You bring it to a simmer, not a boil. You don't want rolling boil. You want just lightly bubbling. You add about 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and the vinegar will help the egg pull together. And then you take a spoon, and in a clockwise or a counterclockwise motion, you spin the water to create like just a little minor vortex in the center, right? Little cyclone thing.
Yep.
You've cracked an egg in a little tiny bowl. Once that little vortex, little cyclone thing is going in the middle of the pot, you just slip the egg right into the middle of that. Just let the water continue spinning around it, and in about 3 minutes, it will poach itself beautifully. The key is to use a slotted spoon to pick it up. If you use a slotted spoon to bring the egg up out of the water after like 3-ish minutes, you can poke on it and you can see soft yellow, soft yolk inside. And if you push against the ends where the white are, you'll get a sense of whether there's still liquid in the white or not. And you don't want runny whites. You want a runny yolk. It's that simple. And then you just take it out and you put it on your thing. Poached eggs are so like chill. You could poach them to 95% of where you want them the day before.
Really?
Take them out with a slotted spoon, put them in a big container of icy water, and then just put that in the fridge. Then the next day when you want them, you simmer the water back again.
Yeah.
Take one out of the icy water, you slip it in for 45 seconds or so. Perfect poached egg.
Really?
Yeah. It's a genius move.
Wow.
And if you've got lots of family coming over and you want to do a lot of poached eggs. I did this a couple weeks ago. I did a vegetarian Benedict. So my layers were English muffin, sauteed spinach with a little garlic, big slice of heirloom tomato grilled in the pan.
Yummy.
The poached egg on top. And then I did sriracha hollandaise.
Ooh.
And if you go to thecookingguy.com, there's a blender there that's 3 ingredients. It's egg yolk, it's lemon juice, and it's melted butter. That's it. And then if you want to srirachaize it, it's a squeeze of sriracha at the end. But you do it in a blender.
Yep.
It's the easiest thing on the planet. And you'll be a Benedict genius before long. I say just get it 6 eggs, stand in front of some simmering water, and do exactly what I've just said. And you'll be fine.
Is there a limit? Like, can you do like 6 at a time? Is there like a rule of thumb?
My son works as a cook at a breakfast restaurant.
Yeah.
And clearly Benedicts are a big part of what go on at any breakfast place.
Yeah.
He poaches not in simmering water, but in boiling water. And he'll do 20 eggs at a time.
20?
20.
Wow.
It's madness. Wow. But he has to. So he does them in boiling because he's got to get them done faster.
Yeah.
I don't know that I trust myself with the boiling water. I've never tried it. I guess it would probably take it from 3.5 minutes to maybe a minute and a half. I don't know. You got to really be on your game for that.
Yeah.
But he's young. He's 23, so he can watch 20 eggs, and he's got all his faculties. I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, well, 1 or 2 is enough. I mean, come on.
1 or 2 is enough.
Jeez. What are we trying to break records?
But do know they're not that sensitive.
Yeah.
They're not that fragile. You can take them out, cool them down, put them back in hours later, and you'll be fine.
All right, so that's probably the best tip of the night, and I didn't even think I was going to be finding that. What? You got something?
I'll take that as an insult.
No, are you kidding? I didn't think. I had no idea.
Did you find any good tips tonight?
No, I wasn't. I said I wasn't looking for an egg tip, and then I got the best egg tip I've heard in maybe ever.
All right, whatever.
All right, so take it as a compliment, for crying out loud.
I'll take it as an insult.
Watch out. Nobody got time for that. That's right, Sweet Brown. All right, Sam the Cooking Guy. You can find him at thesamlivecast.com, thecookingguy.com. Are just a couple of his haunts. You see him on national television every once in a while. So pan around for him. You'll see him. He's all over the place. You see him in BJ's wholesale clubs. My kids always tug my shirt and go, "Hey, you know that guy on the television?
You know that guy
on all of the televisions at the same time." Yeah,
great,
so I mean,
isn't it?
That's great.
If you like me, it's good. If you hate me, it's bad.
Hey, it's A or B. So love me or hate me. Sam, always appreciate the time. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
All right, take care. There he is. Sam Zion, the cooking guy. Watch out. I had no idea about poached eggs like that. Are you kidding me? You think this is a barbecue show? You're going to get great barbecue knowledge? Forget about it. I got home-style cooking stuff for you like you wouldn't believe. Wow. All right. We are going to wrap it up, put a bow on this one, if you will. All the way back in the first hour, we were talking with Steve Ray. You can find him on the Facebook. Midnight, Midnite, Midnight Oil Steve Ray. Like him. Find his radio show on ESPNChattanooga.com. That's the Chattanooga ESPN affiliate. If you friend him on Facebook, you'll get the notifications on the show. Saturday is 9 Eastern. Mostly car talk, sometimes food talk. When I listened to him the other week, they were talking about the steak cook-off circuit that's going around Michael McDermott's park. He will answer your car questions. If you are around Ottawa, you can go right off 75. Did you say exit 11? Was it exit 11, Steve? And check him out. Nothing better than supporting the mom-and-pop shops out there across this great land of ours. And then thanks again to Sam Zion, a.k.a. Sam the Cooking Guy. A couple of different websites for him. TheCookingGuy.com. His main, cooking and cookbook, recipes, all that stuff. And then if you want to see him on his own video show, which I highly suggest, thesamlivecast.com. Don't forget the in the middle. Thesamlivecast.com. That airs new episodes Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And go back, as he said, they just did Step Up Your Holiday Leftovers. And you can get those great recipes. Turkey, mashed potatoes, and stuffing cakes. Stuffing balls, Thanksgiving Benedict, stuffing omelet, pumpkin pancakes, and too good. It's too good. Heard myself. Next week, we will be back leading you right up to game time for Thanksgiving. Potentials include a friend of the show, Ted Reeder. Yeah, baby. So look forward to that. If you have raw cast iron, re-season it each and every time. Hit it with a little Pam or a little Crisco. As it starts to cool down, get the grill brush out, knock it back off, get the debris off, and then, right around 400 degrees or so, get that Crisco and rub it into the grate or spray some Pam into it, or as Dave Close used to say, Pam, and let it burn back in each and every time you use it. Take that little extra bit of care and watch the generations of rust-free service avail itself to you just for that little bit of effort on the raw cast iron. September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. Until next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.